Hello everyone, today we're working on this new bright Christmas tree train. I bought this used just like I buy all my trains, and of course it wasn't running. And in the back it has all the track, and the track is all plastic, there's no power in the track. So this gives you a chance to get some experience with G-Scale at a lower price. I paid about $40 Canadian for this. You could get a brand new one for $100 Canadian. So today I'm going to go through some of the diagnostics I went through to get this thing running again. These trains, they have all the batteries in the tender, and they're connected to the locomotive via a wire. That's really the first place to check, is in the tender. You get to the battery box like so. Just remove the cold load. That should be pretty easy to remove. And then there's two tabs that hold the load. So you can see all the space for the batteries. It's C-type batteries. Oh, and look at that, you have a switch in here, gives you the option to run, focus that. You can run train sounds, mute, or music. So that's good to know. And is there another switch in the bottom? No, but there's your speaker. This is not a very accurate reproduction of a train. The ladder is completely in the wrong spot, but it looks kinda okay. So I thought it was fine, you know, for a Christmas train. This has been in storage for 2 years, so make sure that when you put it in storage that you empty out all the batteries, because if you do put it in storage with the batteries, they can leak, and that will lead to you all these contacts here would be corroded, and then you have to clean that up, which on mine I did not have any problems with that. So that is the first place to check. You want to make sure that your batteries are good. So this one, it was running 2 years ago when I put it in storage. So let's see what it's saying today. Is it still happy? Let's close this a little bit there. Good news, it's still happy. So there's a switch down there. There's a special piece of track that can help you change the switch, so you can have it going forward or backward. And then there's the same switch here if you're just on the side of the engine and you want something to happen. So this is pretty happy today. There's even a headlight. So I've actually never had to open this. I'm gonna say on the whole, they are pretty reliable. Now, when I got it, it did not work, and the reason was the cars, the wheels in the freight cars were all full of lint. You know, the white fake snow they put, it was all full of lint. So all I had to do was clean that up, and I was up and running. So this was kind of a lucky purchase. If you like this train, be on the lookout. Maybe there'll be some for sale after Christmas. Has some good detail. Even the bell moves a little bit. That is really cool. And it's big enough, I think, strong enough for small hands, you know. You know what happens? The grandson comes around and wants to touch it. I think it would be okay. This is the special track that can allow you to stop the train or have it run. So just so you know. Well, as you can imagine, this takes up a lot of room, but it will go around your train and all your gifts. So it looks like it survived the storage for 2 years in good shape. I also bought another one just to add a few cars and maybe a different looking engine. And that one will need to be repaired. This set on eBay gave me a bunch of extra track. A more model railroad looking train, Gold Rush Express. So that gives me a couple of extra cars and another engine for variety. So this one, just got it from eBay. I don't even know if it runs yet. So let's find out. Cosmetically, it looks okay. It's a little different from the Christmas one because it's a 262, which would be a prairie type. This is a slightly different design. The battery are standing up. So this is the tender. So check for corroded terminals. So these look okay. And I also had a look at the lid there. One of them was quite a bit dark, so I put some steel wool to it, and that seemed to work out okay. So I'm going to put the battery in this and check it out. Plug it in with the locomotive and check it out to see if everything runs. So this one too was in storage for quite a while, but fiddled around with it a little bit and I got it to go. It doesn't sound too happy, so we're gonna re-lubricate this. I'm gonna start by removing these 3 screws, and then we'll see what that reveals. This little plate reveals the gears, so we'll be lubricating that in a second. I'm also gonna see if removing these 2 screws allows me to get to the other axles, because I will want to lubricate them as well. 2 screws allows you to remove that cover, and that reveals, this is where the motor sits, reveals the motor. I should point with my screwdriver. So it reveals the motor and then all the other gears, which will lubricate. But I think I'm going to remove the top of the locomotive also, so we can see the motor. I'm going to start with this screw here. There's one on each end, so that I should be able to lift the cab. Once you remove the 2 screws, the cab is free. That gives you access to a lot. I'm going to try and remove the main boiler part now. The back of the boiler here has just 4 snaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just snapped in. So you go very carefully with your screwdriver and it will come right out. I don't want to be too rough on it, but it just snaps right out, and then that reveals that part of it. So that, I think that is what makes the little noise, you know, the clickety-clack of the rails. And then there's an extra part there. Look at that, there's an extra set of gauges. So somebody at the factory made a slight mistake. This is where the gauges should go. So I've got 2 of them. Interesting. And then the main boiler shell is starting to be free. I removed the 1 screw from here and I can see a little snap. So I'm going to be careful and try to pry that snap out. 2 more screws under the locomotive should allow me to wiggle the front of the boiler. I was able to wiggle the main boiler off. Still has that neat little bell. And there's a switch here. I'm not too sure what this does, but I'll see as I keep going if I can figure it out. That definitely needs a good cleaning. I'm gonna remove these 4 screws here, 2 on the other side, and I should be able to see the motor. That pulls out the entire assembly. I'm not really sure that's what I wanted to do. I just want to see at the top of the motor, but it is held together with 4 snaps like this. I'm gonna unsnap this. That should get me what I want. There's a little fan in there, and it's hooked up directly to the motor. Maybe there was some type of smoke unit at the beginning. At any rate, this is as deep as I need to get in there to do what I wanted to do. So I'm going to take all the body parts and I'm going to wash them with my toothbrush and some dish soap and trying to get some of this dust off. And then I'll put everything back together. Before I put everything back together, I'm going to lubricate everything. This is the brand of lubricant that I use. It's a phenolic metal railroader. It's really high quality. It doesn't harm plastics. So I don't know if you're not a metal railroader, what else you could use. But this is a little bit on the expensive side, but you get what you pay for. It's safe for plastics. So I use that a lot. So I'm just going to look at everything and try to lubricate every contact that I see like that, every point of contact. I'm going to try to get some in between here if I can. That would be awesome. Under here I have more gears to lubricate. I'll make sure and get everything. And I'm going to put a drop on the bearings here. I think that's going to help. Alright, so I figured out what that fan was for. It's a whistle. So that's really neat. I'm almost all done. I'm going to put the body back on it. And this is a switch where you can close the whistle. And that's what that does. Well, alright, everything's put back together. I'm going to do one final test on the bench. And then we'll go out on the track. But I wanted to take a minute to wish everyone a happy holidays. So everything seems to work nice. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.